welcome back. We have another product from VEVOR. Let me get in close here. This is a rapid air inflator. This is a little compressor. This is a DC compressor that operates off of a car battery or your lawnmower battery. And it is for airing up tires. Let me see here. Oh, let me go that. As you can see here, it is able to do 150 PSI, 13.8 volts, basically means it's running off your 12 volt, and 10.6 CFM. So it is advertised as a rapid inflator. I think it said 30 seconds to fill up the tire. We're definitely going to test that. And here's just the quickest look at it. A twin cylinder. It's got a lot of weight to it. The ad says it was like over 20 pounds, and I believe them. So there's a heavy duty handle on it because it has some weight to it. And it's got its cables to connect to the battery. And then it's got this hose, which connects to a quick connector, which connects to a 26-foot air hose. And you've got your pressure gauge that shows you what you're doing. And then it has 4 different adapters for 4 different ways to inflate. You've got your regular air hose for tires and stuff. You know, the regular, okay, right there. And then you've got your other ones for like beach balls and footballs and soccer balls and stuff. And this is just a cover for the air gauge, and I recommend you put that on there because the number of times I've shattered the front of an air gauge. And then here is the carrying case. As you can see, it's a nice big carrying case because it's a big unit, plus all the, you know, the hoses and wires you got to coil up to put in there. And what we're going to be doing today is, well, you know what, we're going to start with showing you the way it came and how it was packed in a box. Okay, and this is how it comes. It comes in a regular old cardboard box, and there's no inner box, and it is just in there. And as you can see here, it's in its carrying case, wrapped in plastic, and the styrofoam was on top of it. So that's as much as we can see when we open the box. Let's pull everything out and spread it out between these 2 tables and see what we got. So here's a look at how nicely it fits in its carrying case. As you can see there, everything has its place and there's plenty of room for everything. That is nice. Okay, now we'll pull everything out of the box. I just wanted to show that in case it's hard to repack it in there, what it looks like when it's packed up. Okay, and here we go. We start with the main unit here. Has its air hose and its power cables. And then we have this bag, which is the instruction manuals, and it's got the air inflator attachment. And then it also has these other 3 attachments here that I wasn't expecting. I think that 1 or 2 of them are for things like inflatable pool toys, like a beach ball or something like that. And of course, the one that's a pin would be for a basketball or football or soccer ball, something like that. And they just screw into the end there. Obviously, we've got a quick connect connector there that quick connects into this part of the hose. Oh yeah, I should mention that here's the hose. And then the other end of the hose where you're going to be doing the inflating has the, it's tapped for the separate, what do you call it, attachments, the adapters for different things that you fill up. And then right here, I'm sure is your air gauge underneath the styrofoam and the cover. And we will get all of that completely unpacked and put together so that we can see what we have. Okay, and here we go, back to where we started. As you can see here, I have attached the quick connector to the long hose, the 26-foot hose. And then I have also attached the air inflator for the tires, because that's what we're going to be showing. And I have removed the cap from the pressure gauge. And there was also some plastic on the cover of the pressure gauge. And that is about it. So at this point, we move on to the next step. Okay, here we go. So I have attached the cables to the battery. Since it's 12 volts and this operates on 12 volts, and we are about to turn it on for the first time and see if that worked. We got a power switch right here. Okay, so that definitely worked, but I am realizing that we don't have, it's not like you're used to. It's not where you have a valve, a button that you press to turn the gauge on and off. You are supposed to hook it up and then turn it on and then watch the gauge to see that you're at the right pressure and then turn it off. So I think the whole thing is going to be operated by that switch and watching the gauge. So yeah, I didn't expect that. Anyway, so the first thing I'm going to do is deflate this tire completely so that we can fill that up. Okay, I think I have the camera set up to show everything I need to show. There's the tire, there's the compressor, and there's the gauge, and it's hooked up. So I will be pressing the button and watching the gauge and see if this thing works as fast as it says it will. It says about 30 seconds and it'll be full. So let's do it. Okay, so it appears as though the gauge is showing its output, I think, is what, I'll have to look back on the video to see what it was up at, but it's not showing the actual tire pressure. And if you can see here, if you hook it to the tire, it is not actually giving you tire pressure. I should read the book, and I will by the next scene. But otherwise, I didn't time that, but I will probably have the time on the screen on how quickly it filled up that tire. It did do it pretty fast. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so now I have read the book, and what it says is that you temporarily turn it off while leaving it connected to get the accurate pressure gauge reading. So while you're filling, it's going to be like way above where it's supposed to be, but you turn it off for a second or two and watch the gauge to see what it settles at. So that's what we're about to do now. You see, that just went all the way to 0. Yeah, so it's going like all the way up to 60. Oh, I see what it's doing. So we're getting, all right. So now it's settling at, it's only at like 10. These tires are supposed to go to 22. We're at about 20. Okay, it's working now. And we are right at about 22 psi there. And so that's what the problem was. Even though the tire looked inflated, it was still not quite up at the psi where it's supposed to be. And now it is. It really does work. It helps to read the instructions. I hate saying that. Alrighty, so we have confirmed it definitely works, and it works well. It filled it up. Actually, the first run, when we were filling it up from flat, that was 25 seconds. When it says it'll do it in 30 seconds, so the extra PSI that we put in it at the end after we read the instruction was about another 5 or 10 seconds. So it really does rapid fill very fast in about 30 seconds. And we have confirmed that it will work straight off of the lawnmower's battery. Now I don't know how, let's take this off. Let's unhook that. And I don't know how much juice that took from the mower. Let's see if it got any. Yeah, it didn't zap the battery, and that's a tiny battery. So what we have here is this is a machine that's supposed to work off of a car battery, but we have verified that it will work on a lawnmower battery or even a tiny lawnmower battery like this one here. So it's good. So it means you don't have to have your truck right next to where you're working. You can, if you're like off-roading out in the woods or something like that with your ATVs, and you have some tools with you, you can have this with you in the pack, and it'll run off of your ATV's battery, starting battery. And so that's it. Okay, so there it is in a nutshell. It's a cool little compressor, and check in the description and the top pinned comment for the link on where to get it. It's really cool. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good one.